You know what? I really like the Nintendo DS. I like how it's made, the shape, the size, the innovation of the two screens. It was launched as the successor of the Game Boy Advance, and it sold so well it basically doubled the sales of its predecessor. After the DS launched, 2 years later came the Wii, and the golden age started for Nintendo. Dozens and dozens of quality titles were made available for both platforms, making them the perfect matchup. The DS is one of the most known consoles, because your mom calls every console you have a Nintendo. Of all titles available for it, and of all those I've played, I've managed to narrow it down to just 7 games. Every time a new Nintendo system is revealed, the first game everyone wants to see is the new Zelda. While home consoles usually have the highest praise and are all grandiose adventures, the handheld counterparts are not afraid to try new things. That is exactly what happened with the 2 Zelda titles for the DS. While not as epic and powerful as other Zelda games, Spirit Tracks is a very enjoyable and lighthearted experience, without leaving out some incredible moments. It's the only game where Zelda accompanies Link throughout his whole adventure, and if there's one thing this game excels at, is its world, which is colorful, diverse and fun. One of the biggest complaints everybody had was the touchscreen controls, which were thought gimmicky and unresponsive. I for once really liked them as they opened up some interesting tricks in gameplay, and they also fit the DS nicely. One of the most revolutionary games of the century, the one that defined a modern 3D platformer and possibly Mario's biggest success, has been remade from the Nintendo DS. Now everyone can experience this beautiful game that elevated Nintendo to new heights and can know what it was like when you went from this to this. Super Mario 64 DS isn't a simple port with enhanced graphics. It also features 3 new playable characters, which abilities differ from Mario's, and also adds 30 new stars to the original 120, so there are more levels to explore. You know what I like? Pokemon. And you know another thing I like? Spin-offs that are not afraid to change the formula of the main game. Fortunately, Pokemon spin-offs are always like that, and many successful games like the Pokemon Ranger or Mystery Dungeon series were made. But the game I want to talk about is probably the most obscure one, Pokemon Conquest. Right off the bat, you're welcomed in a world where warlords of different territories wage war against each other with Pokemon to reclaim more territories under their personal domain. While told in a lighthearted way, this sure differs from the main series of games. The game is a crossover between Pokemon and Nobunaga's Ambition series of games, and manages to mix the gameplay between the two perfectly. You, as a young warlord of the Ransei region, has to conquer the whole region and unite it under one flag, your own. You can do this by taking over the various areas where Ransei is divided into, ultimately defeating Oda Nobunaga, which is the game's main antagonist. The gameplay is that of the Nobunaga series, a turn-based tactical RPG. You battle other warlords on various battlefields, where you can bring a party of 6 Pokemon, each with different moves and abilities. And obviously you'll try to have Pokemon with the type advantage against the opponent's Pokemon. I like this game as it shakes up the usual Pokemon formula, merging it with excellent tactical battles, and I really hope to announce a sequel. Since the DS sold more than 150 million units, it wasn't strange that many people owned it and could get together with other DS owners. So many games were launched that utilized the download DS function, where even if only one player owned the game, everybody could play it. The 2 best games that used these features were Mario Kart DS and Mario Party. Both games were extremely fun if played in groups, and both had their characteristic Mario shine on them. Mario Kart DS was the best portable racer out there, with tons of tracks, characters, carts and power-ups that made for really fun races, where up to 8 people could join. Mario Party, on the other hand, with a maximum of 4 players, was the place to go if you needed a long and fun experience with your friends. Overall, Nintendo really knows how to put people together. As I stated before, I love Pokemon. The main games are all exclusive to Nintendo handhelds, and fans are always raving for some more Pokemon games. The DS was home to 4 different kinds of experience, and each one was an incredible game. It all started in 2007, when Diamond and Pearl were released. Since they were the first Pokemon games to run on the new hardware, they made some impressive technical evolutions and also managed to put in some innovations to keep the game pretty fresh. Then came Heart Gold and Soul Silver, remakes of the beloved Gold and Silver versions, made with Diamond and Pearl tech. Then the 5th generation came, and boy did it do some things. While often criticized, let's not forget that Black and White introduced 156 new Pokemon, the largest number of new creatures introduced, and managed to populate the whole region with only new Pokemon, without reusing old ones like others did. Also, it brought many changes to the competitive scene and introduced fully animated Pokemon. 2 years later came Black 2 and White 2, which didn't do anything new, and to this day I still think that they needed some extra money to develop X and Y. That aside, if you pick up any of these games you'll have plenty of stuff to do. I've never played a rhythm game, and never wanted to. That is, until I came across Rhythm Heaven, the coolest and best sounding video game I've ever played. It's one of those games that have a simple but effective style and design, and it doesn't hurt that the majority of the stuff is ridiculous. Since this is a written game, the music has to be good. And this game has some of the best songs I've ever listened to, and completing the levels make you feel a badass. Flipping a coin and catching it listening to a rhythm has never felt better. While a gamer is someone who either defines himself like this or without knowing it loves playing games, a true gamer, in my opinion, is someone who has played all genres and has the knowledge to back up his opinions and not say something like, "Zelda sucks because the story is always the same thing." While I haven't achieved this legendary status, I'm slowly crawling out of my cave of ignorance and trying all different kind of games. A type of game I recently had the pleasure of discovering are visual novels. And what better game to start than 999, 9 hours, 9 persons, 9 doors. This game is my favorite game on the DS because not only was it a fantastic experience, it also defines what for me is a compelling story, because it is one of the best plots I've ever played in a video game. As every excellent visual novel, it has the best set of diverse, fun and interesting characters all in one video game. While visually it only consists of images and characters, this game also features escape the room type puzzles, which serve to spice the game up a bit, and are not too annoying or hard. This is definitely my favorite title on this great handheld, and for more information about this game I did a video on this game alone, and the link will be in the description of those of you that are... This is definitely my favorite title on this great handheld, and for more information about this game I did a video on this game alone, and the link will be in the description for those of you that are interested in a more detailed and spoiler-free review of mine. So there you go, you are one step closer to knowing all about me, and I really hope you'll consider trying out one of these games I've mentioned. Don't forget to subscribe if you want to see more content of mine, and like and share this video if you think I'm worthy enough for you to click that button. See you in the next video.